Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to host your very own website using React on GitHub Pages with your very own custom domain name. So when I was first trying to figure this out for myself, I used a video by Brad Traversy as a guide, but I ran into some technical issues that he didn't really address in his video, so I'm making this just to try and clear up some of those issues that people might end up having. Uh, to follow through with this video, you're going to need Node.js installed to be able to use npm. And I used Google Domains for my domain provider, but you can use whatever domain registrar that you're comfortable with. It doesn't really matter. With all that being said, let's hop right into the video.
Alright, now to get started with the tutorial. So you're just going to want to have your terminal open in your code editor of choice. Mine is Visual Studio Code. And what you want to type in is npx create dot or hyphen react hyphen app and then dot at the end, which creates the React app in the current folder. You don't have to use the dot, but I am going to. So as this is creating a React app, let's go into our GitHub account, and then we want to go to our repositories page, and we are going to want to create a new repository. So my repository name is going to be hosted websites, and that's going to be it for me. You can choose whatever repository name you'd like. So once you've created that repository, just leave your page open on this screen right here, and then we can go back to Visual Studio Code and wait until Create React App is done. So once your Create React App is done being created, all you need to do is type in the terminal npm install gh-pages. So the GH pages node npm module, it essentially creates a separate branch in your project on GitHub, which is going to be what is used to host your website. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to alter our React app a little bit, and I'm just going to remove some of the basic boilerplate stuff, and I'm just going to add my own h1, and that's just going to be hello world. And then we're going to add a paragraph tag, and that's just going to say hosting a website is very easy with GitHub pages. Hit save, and the next thing we want to do is go into our package.json file right over here. And anywhere here really works. I usually put it at the top to make it simple. What you want to do is add in a home page, and here you're going to want to put in your GitHub profile account name. So mine is the Galaxy, and then you're going to want to type in a dot and github.io. Make sure there's this comma here at the end so you don't get any errors. And then lastly, in the package.json, in the scripts object right over here, you want to firstly add a comma on the end to this last script, and then you're going to want to create a script called deploy. And this script is going to be putting in the build script, and to do this we just type in npm run build, and then we're going to be using GitHub Pages functionality, and what you need to type in is gh-pages-d and then build. Hit save, and that's it. What I should note is that if you aren't using React, this build is not going to be automatically the folder you want to push to. For React, it does create a build folder, but for if you're just doing it custom, or if you're using another technology, it might not be build, it might be a folder like dist. So just be careful here that you might have to change this based on what you're using. So just to make sure everything here is working, we'll type in npm start into the terminal, and this is going to start a developer localhost. And let's see it load. There we go. We have hello world, and hosting a website is very easy with GitHub Pages. So pretty cool. Then you can hit Control C to cancel that. And the next thing we need to do is push this to our GitHub repository. So to do that, we type in git add dot for everything. And so that's going to sort of add all of those to our docking area or whatever it's called. And then we want to type in git commit with a message, and our message can be first commit. Hit enter, and then that has everything committed. And now we need to go back to the GitHub repository that we created. Mine is called hosted website, of course. And then we just want to copy this text right here with the remote add. And then we want to put that into our terminal. So that's going to add the repository as a remote origin. And then we want to copy this git push and put that into the terminal as well. So once that all is done, we can go back to our GitHub repository, and we can hit reload, and then all our information is going to be right here. So I made a mistake previously. Instead of having this as your homepage, I forgot to add in a few things at the beginning. So we want to put in the HTTPS colon / your GitHub username.github.io, and then at the end we're going to do another slash, and then it's going to be your repository name. And as you can remember, my repository name was hosted website. Yours might be different. So we'll go back here and then copy and paste that into the home page, and we hit save. And we just want to add this again to our GitHub repository. So git add dot, and then git commit with a message fixing homepage. And then we're just going to git push this to the repository. Once all of that is pushed to your repository, we just want to run our deploy script again. So we type in npm run deploy and hit enter, and then all of that will run and push to the separate branch in our GitHub repository. Okay, once that's all done, you just need to go back to your GitHub repository, and we'll just refresh here. And as you can see here, we now have our GitHub Pages branch, which has been pushed to with all our build information. And the next thing you want to do is go into settings and scroll all the way down to right here, GitHub Pages. Now you want to make sure this right here is selected on GitHub Pages rather than master. And then it says your site is published, so let's click here, and there we go. There's our site. It's hosted right here, the galaxy.github.io/hosted website. So that's pretty cool. One issue that I ran into before, and actually during this tutorial, was if I had clicked this before it was ready and there was an error, it saved a cache version. So if you keep on getting that your site is not hosted, or it's just a blank screen or something, you're getting console errors, you can go into your settings and just delete your like cookies and saved like website information, and that should be able to fix the issue. So the next thing we're going to do here is add our custom domain. So as you can see here, you can add your own custom domain. And to do this, we need to go to our domain provider, and mine is obviously Google Domains. And as you can see here, these are all the domains that I have registered, and we're going to be using this one right here, gallic.ca. And in here, you want to go to your DNS settings here on the left side. And at the very bottom, you want to go to custom resource records. And we're going to be adding 4 A records of the GitHub pages custom IPs. So in here, all you want to do is copy and paste the IPs that I've provided in the description, and just hit this plus button to have 4 of these available. And we're just going to copy and paste in here. And the only thing we're going to change is the third group of digits. And so the first one is going to be 108. The second one is going to be 109. The third one is going to be 110. And the fourth one is going to be 111. So just make sure this is all like this with the A records here, and just hit add. And perfect. Now, once all of that is done, you're going to want to go back to your GitHub Pages repository settings, and right here where it says custom domain, you're going to want to type in your very own custom domain. So mine is going to be gallic.ca, and yours is going to be whichever ones you want to host to. So once that is saved, we don't need to do anything right here. So let's go back into our VS Code, or our code editor of choice, and we want to, where we put homepage before, instead of having this whole thing with your GitHub account name and repository, instead of having that there, we are going to remove all of the GitHub information, and you're just going to put your custom domain. So mine right here is gallic.ca, and hit save. That's it. And we're going to have to add all of this to our repository. Git commits, changing homepage to have custom domain. And then we can push that. And after all of that is pushed, we will just run the build again. So, or the deploy, sorry, npm run deploy, which is going to run the build. Okay, so once your React app is done deploying, we can go back to our GitHub repository, and let's just refresh it here, and you see here we just pushed this, so changing homepage to have custom domain. And we want to go back to our settings, and right here in our custom domain, as we changed before, we want to have gallic.ca, or your custom domain, and you save that, and then right here this should be changed, and there we go. Then you have your custom URL up here and your React app hosted. So it's pretty cool. It's hosted now. The last thing we're going to need to do is make sure our website still works when we type in the www at the beginning. And as you see here, it does not if we type in www. It can't be reached because the server IP address cannot be found. So to fix this, we need to go back to our Google Domains, and back in our DNS settings and our custom resource records, instead of adding an A type, we need to add a C name. And where the @ is here, we just need to type in www, and our domain name is going to be our homepage that we were using before. So it is your GitHub or your GitHub account name www.github.io. And we hit add there, and it should be all good. Now we can go back to our GitHub repository and check if our website is working with the www. So let's head back to our repository and let's just check here, and we can go to our GitHub pages, and you can see here that the CNAME was created based off of what we just added in. So it created a little file in our GitHub pages folder, and there is our custom domain. So that seemed to have worked. And let's go back into our settings. And as you can see here, our custom domain is still there with our site published. This is working as it was before. And now let's see if we type in www dot, and there we go. Our connection is not private for some reason, but you can just hit advanced and proceed to your website. And there you go. Your website is hosted with a, doesn't show there, but it is with a www. Let's see, www.gallic.ca. And there we go. Perfect. All right, great. Everything seems to be working here. We have our custom React app up here. We have our custom domain name up here. The www is working for our website. So everything seems to be up and working. If this tutorial and video helped you in any ways, please consider leaving a like. It would be greatly appreciated and helps a lot. If you've run into any issues while following along with this tutorial, please consider checking the description, as I've left a good amount of resources down there to possibly help you out. Otherwise, you can leave a comment on the video and I'll try and help you out myself. With all that being said, enjoy your newfound powers of being able to host your very own website with a custom domain name using GitHub Pages.